Those of you who have been following the channel now for a while know that one of the first companies that I worked with was Binoid. Now, if you guys don't know who Binoid is, I mean, they're one of the biggest hit market creator kind of pin space out there. They just make some of the craziest, like 2 gram, 3 gram, 5 gram, 7 gram, just crazy fucking dispos that, yes, are mostly probably just like delta 8 distillate with other stuff, but still a pretty good run for your money. But I just kind of wanted to talk about today, like, are they getting too big? What's really the best size? Pause. Shout out to Binoid. We're going to be smoking some of the Blooms flower. That is their other company for flower, because Binoid just does like a lot of the entourage effect with big pins. Blooms has really good flower. I really like their snow caps and moon rocks. But like I said, I know they're making I think they told me they're making a new company as well, so I wonder what that will be. But they specialize more, Binoid specializes in pins, dispos, and seems like edibles as well is a big thing for them. But as cool as a 5 gram pin is, you're never gonna see that in a dispo, because that goes against like all guidelines of legal dispos and stuff. And also, in my opinion, you'll find a good amount of people as well that don't exactly like the idea of bigger carts and dispos as well. So really, let's just jump into it. So yeah, they make like the 5-7 gram dispos, which in my opinion are just way too much. It is really hard to find a battery or pin that is going to really mesh well with that much distillate. I mean, this is already like basic knowledge, but a lot of these carts and stuff already aren't even exactly like meant to mesh with super thick oil such as concentrate and stuff. So, you know, getting it a bad pin can lead to hella clogging, can lead to, you know, things of that nature. I think we've all had a bad pen with hella clogging, maybe a little leakage, maybe got like really discoloration really quick, or just something of that nature, right? So when it comes to the 7-5 grams, I just think that's way too much. Now, I have seen a lot of people, because I've literally worked with Binoid for quite a bit of time, I've seen a lot of different comments of people actually loving the like 5-7 gram dispos, because they say it's like perfect for them, and I think that's crazy. Not like in a judgy way, but like in more of a sense like, damn, like you're really gonna sit down and smoke all of that? You know what I mean? Just because I would think by the end it would just be bad. And I mean, I'm just being real, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm working with them, they know this. I've been vocal about this on the videos that I've even used the bigger dispos. I've been like, yeah, like this is a bit crazy, bit more of a like collector's item kind of just like, I don't really know, like, yeah, I would say more of like a collector's item, because, you know, you're just gonna get tired of it pretty quick. Like, back in the day, I probably went through a gram out of the 5 gram and was like, fuck. And then even used it a month later. And it was still kind of fine in terms of taste and stuff, but you could tell where it was going down. And I think a lot of people would probably be like me, and they would go to these websites. They're going to get probably the flower, a smaller pen, and then they're going to maybe get that because it like caught their eye, it's on sale, whatever. Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, oh, that's such a good deal. But then probably a couple weeks later, I'd be like, man, this really isn't it, or something like that, you know? So they literally just do every fucking variation of liquid, essentially, like metric volume, essentially. So they got the 5G, I'm pretty sure 6 and 7. Then you're working your way down to like 4 and 3. Now 3 is where I'm kind of like, okay, like we should stop here. You know what I'm saying? Like we are already pushing the limits of the battery and just the product itself, you know? So 3 is my like, okay, I wouldn't be as worried about maybe not liking it as much down the line, more problems, things of that nature. I wouldn't be as worried about the battery. Cause yeah, you don't want to get halfway through a 5 gram and the fucking coil shit out or go burnt. So 4 gram is still a bit too much to me. 3 gram is like perfect. Now, in terms of like how these hit, because that also comes into play for some people as well. Like some people might like a certain battery style over a different one. All the bigger ones I've hit have always been honestly the same to me as a 3, 2, 1 gram. I don't always notice a big difference. It seems like a lot of the time they keep a lot of these pens, and I'm just speaking more binoid because I haven't tried a lot of other big dispos and stuff. I think I've tried like a 5 gram from somebody else, and I've tried like 2 grams. Like 2 gram isn't crazy to me, okay? Like, yeah, it is still a lot, but it's not that fucking crazy, you know? I think like the first 3 gram one I tried was fucking Canada River or something of that nature. But yeah, so that shit, 3Gs is like sweet spot, or not even really sweet spot, but like we're good here. We're pushing. This joint is really smacking, I'm not gonna lie. I have been doing stuff all day, been pretty busy, so being able to sit down and smoke, I literally have to go get food after this, which I'm not driving, but you know. But yeah, so now that we're down to like the 2, 1 gram, I think it's pretty safe to say those are generally the best. Like, I'm just being honest, the best dispos and carts and stuff that I've tasted were always 1G or 2G, mostly 1G. It's just like a sweet spot, man. It's just enough to make you be like, at the end, you're like, yeah, I'm ready to go to something else, or I'm ready to move on to another strain. And generally just feel happier, but there's so much. Who is outside? Sorry if you can hear a lawnmower, but. Alright, sorry if you can hear mowing in the background. The church that I live next to, they're mowing, and I swear that dude always mows at the worst times. It's always when I'm about to make a video or take my dog out to play. And it's like right by the house, so it's always pretty inconvenient, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, in my opinion, 1G, 2G carts are really where it's at, but you save your money half the time in the bigger ones. But I have noticed with all the bigger dispos and stuff like that, I have noticed that it is mostly always just like D8, HHC, then like little X amount of whatever else, you know what I mean? And once again, I'm not exactly surprised by that. Like, it genuinely baffles me half the time how mad people get over stuff like that, because they've never even like sat down and tried to think about things from a business perspective. They're always thinking about things from a consumer perspective, which I get, obviously, but like, you got to think about like how much stuff is. How much would it be if they put more of this in? Then you would be like, it's too expensive, and then it's always going to be some kind of problem. That's why I say always just stick to flower. At the end of the day, I actually am not really for carts and dispos. Not that I'm not for them, but just because of like the whole Cali situation, just like I don't really trust a lot of shit. It's hard to trust anything anymore. But yeah, so that's why I mostly just stick to flower, to be real. It's just kind of always been my saving grace. I don't know. And even though it all starts at the flower, and if the flower is fucked up, like I said, it is more likely though for pesticides and stuff like that to be washed through the flower, and for it to be cleared more. Way more likely than it is for something like a vape, which is way more deadly because now you're vaping, you know, metals, things of that nature that are really fucking dangerous for the lungs, compared to something like this that could possibly be flamed out. I keep calling it drained, but it's not flush or whatever. But just don't do that at all. Don't be putting nothing bad on your fucking flower. Don't be doing that shit. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. My general consensus, 1, 2Gs are the best. But I know it has so many, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Definitely check out Blooms as well. Their flower is pretty impressive. Yeah, fucking love you guys. If you enjoy the End Bump, you can send your own to chillydillyendbumps@gmail.com.